Okay, good morning, grade 7. Just put your little hello in the box so I know who's here. See who's arrived, and also who is still sleeping. Wow, 5. That's it. Okay, so the others can catch up. Let's just talk about where we're at. So we've just finished the last unit, which was the algebra unit, and hopefully, if you haven't already, you have gone on and had a look at the quizzes that I have now marked for you, and the little end of unit assessment thing, assignment that I have given you your grades on. It's the usual feedback form. Now, obviously, I know that we're not at school and it's not like a written test like you normally would be used to. But obviously, in lieu of that, I've tried to just give you a little bit of feedback so you can see where you are. If the grades are not like at the moment where you want them to be, then don't worry. It's not something you need to worry about. It just gives you a snapshot of where you're up to at the moment, and obviously anything that you still need to work on. We will go through, like if you read the post on Teamy today, we're going to have some time to go through some of the solutions. Obviously, I'm normally, as always, going to focus on part 2 because that's obviously a more complex question, so the ones that are more likely for us to need to discuss. That if you look at most of the results, it tends to be that part 1 we've all done pretty well on, and part 2 is where some of us have struggled a little bit. So later on today, we are going to have some time to go through that. What you'll see on the Teamy post that I put about that is I would like you just to put in the comments which questions you'd like me to go through, because obviously if I go through all of them, it takes a long time. It's going to be really boring for you to sit there and watch. I prefer just to add your comments there. Only I can see them. And then what I'll do is I'll just take the question with the most people asking, and then I'll just work down until we run out of time. What are we doing today in terms of moving forwards? Well, we've got our new unit now, which is our 3D shape unit. Hopefully you're all keeping up to date with current affairs, and you'll have seen the Prime Minister's speech yesterday, which announced that the circuit breaker is going to be extended for another 4 weeks. So what that means is, obviously we're still waiting for the full details, but pretty much going to be talking like this for the next foreseeable future. So today is like the first lesson, so it's going to be a chance for you to review the things that you have already done in the past, which is your area and perimeter. That's what you did in grade 6. So I have posted a series of notes, as in you can have a read through to remind you of how to find the area of the different shapes, and also which shapes you need to know. I've summarized those in a little sheet for you. Basically, you need to know, which I've always put on there, are arcs and sectors. So those are the things which we're going to focus on today. To make it easier for you so that you can do little walkthroughs, etc., we're going to use our My iMaths for the first time since we've been on the remote learning today. I've set a series of tasks for you. Some of them have got a due date of Friday. They're the ones I want you to finish first. Some of them have got a due date of next Friday, so they're the ones to do secondarily. Each one has got a lesson, but you need to complete the online homework, and you need to score 75% or more to show me that you understand. Okay. The 3D shape unit, the volume, obviously surface area particularly, but also volume. If you can't find the area of the 2D shapes, then we can't move forward with the 3D shapes. So that's why we're going to spend this lesson today and the single reviewing those things. So before I go any further, because we have a little facility for you to write stuff down, I'll just pause for a minute and let you ask or type in any questions that you have about what we're going to do in terms of reviewing our end of unit reviews and what's coming in the new unit. And if you're not sure of the total contents of the new unit, the highlights are posted on Teamy, so you can see the different objectives that we're going to work on. So any questions? Brianna, do you want to say something about being a meeting? No? Good question, Arav. At the moment, we are going to have 2 more, but we may reduce that to 1, depending on how well we get through this unit and how well, and obviously with the current situation, we don't know. So at the moment, Arav plan is 2 more, but we will obviously reserve the right to change that. Me, good question. You only need to join on. We're going to do the call at 8:45. I'll add that to the team post. We're going to do that at 8:45. You only need to join the call if there's something particularly you want to go through. I have shared a solutions page for part 2 on Teamy. If you read that and think, okay, I know where I've gone wrong and I know what I should have done, and I don't really feel like I understand the method to do it. So I'm going to be doing a screen sharing where you can see my screen and I can go through the questions with you. Any other questions? Yeah, Crystal, I would say, to be honest, considering it's revision stuff, you need to get 75% shown you understand. A little online homework. Each one should only take you about 5 minutes, I would say. Anything else? Okay, so I think we're pretty good. So if you don't have any more questions, then let's just review what's happening. So you are going to have a look at your end of unit review if you haven't done so already. For the people I named last lesson, I'll reshare that. But still haven't sent me those pictures of their working. You need to do that ASAP because you'll notice you don't get your results in your grade until you've done that, because it's not good until then. Or if you're not going to join the call, then you can go to the post and start working through the My iMaths questions, look at the due dates, work down from top to bottom, and you need to score 75% in each. And if you don't score 75%, you need to redo it until you do, to show that you understand. Okay, excellent. I'm going to end this here then, and I will be available as always. At 8:45 is when we're going to start looking at questions. So please make sure you're prepared for that time if you need to. And if you do want to go through questions, post the ones you want to go through on the Teamy comments so I can see which ones we need to do. Okay, bye-bye now.